You can play 3 of these things now? Today, I'm going to be showing you the best way to play Astrograph Sorcerer at 3 in Pendulum in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Subscribe if you haven't, and let's get into it. And here is the deck list. So, pretty much, we're just playing Supreme King with this. The reason why I selected this deck out of all the other Pendulum decks that could potentially play it is for the reason that they don't really need it. They don't need triple Astrograph. You could just play the one and get it off of Electromite and you're fine. You're not really wanting a way to get into Electromite, since there's so many ways to get into Electromite in those decks that it's not really necessary. And in this deck, it's the only one I've seen that complements it better than the others, even Pendulum Magician. And I feel that Astrograph Sorcerer at 3 feels perfect for a Pendulum Soup like deck, which honestly we could do. Thing is that it's just gonna be really bad because we need hand traps nowadays to be able to do anything. So just playing all gas to just potentially do something, even though our opponent is just going to have more interruptions than us and potentially be able to out ourselves way easier, it's just not worth playing Pendulum Soup. Like, yeah, it's 2025. That's gotta get that in your mind when it comes to the people who are scared of Pendulum Soup. That's not a thing anymore. Yes, Supreme King is what I feel is the best way to play this. So I realized I should probably organize this in a better way because god, that was very messy. But let's get into it. First off, we're starting with triple Astrograph Sorcerer. If you don't know what Astrograph Sorcerer does, I'll break it down for you. If a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to special summon the Astrograph Sorcerer from your hand, and then if a card that was destroyed this turn is currently in the graveyard, banished, or extra deck, you get to add the same name of that card from your deck to your hand. That's realistically all that the monster effect does. All that other text you see is literally not relevant because it's an old way to summon Sark, which it's not good. It never comes up. Don't worry about it. And also it has a really good skill effect that during the main phase, you get to destroy the Astrograph Sorcerer from the Pendulum skill to be able to place or special summon a Stargazer Magician from your deck. And speaking of, this is Stargazer Magician. Realistically, none of these effects matter. It's just because you can summon it off of it to be able to combo. That's pretty much the only reason you're playing it here. That's honestly it. It could be really good when you have a Astrograph plus another Astrograph. You get to destroy the Astrograph, then summon the Astrograph from your hand. You get to add another Astrograph, so you have the 3 Astrographs in play pretty much, which is insane. Yeah, back in the day, you used to play like triple Chronograph, one time Gazer, then triple Astrograph, one Stargazer. It was insane. You get to like pop a lot, but that was back in Pendulum Soup, which you know, as mentioned, it's not that good anymore. And now we're going to be talking about the regular Supreme King cards that we are already playing. So first off, we have triple Gate Magician. Gate Magician is just a really good card. You use all of its effects because it works really well off of itself. If you draw 2 is crazy. Having the scale effect, destroy itself and then place a gate 0 on the scale, and then once you have that gate 0 and you have a 1 Gate Magician in hand, you get to special summon it by sending a XYZ dragon, Synchro dragon, or a fusion dragon, or maybe a Pendulum dragon from your hand or extra deck. The hand part I don't think will come up, but you know, in the extract you're usually just sending the Synchro dragon because it plays around the Bestials the best. So yeah. Then we have triple Dark Worm. Very standard. This gets you into the Gate Magician. So you'll be usually sending this off of the Dragon Shrine or the Foolish Burial because it summons itself if you control no monsters, which is really good. Then we have our normal summon. It gets you into a Pendulum Magician card. Usually you're going to be searching the Gate Magician, or very rarely it also searches Odd Eyes monsters, so you can potentially just add the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. I don't think this will come up. 2 Light Worms. Light Worm is really good to have at 2 in this case, mainly for the fact that you'll be using Electromite effect to destroy it and then add another Light Worm off of the Astrograph effect. So yeah, that's gonna come up. So you should definitely just play 2. Also, this card's really good for grind game, since if a pendulum monster is destroyed, you get to add Lightworm for your extract to your hand. They pretty much have a high skill ready for whenever you would have to place it again. If it gets completely wiped, you could potentially have like a Gate Magician in your hand, maybe an Astrograph in your hand, and then just place both in scale, have your Pendulum Summon ready, which is really good. As previously mentioned, Dragon Shrine at 3, you can potentially cut this to 2 if you're not feeling very confident on having to potentially draw more than one Dragon Shrine, but honestly I like to play it at max to make sure that you are getting the Dark Worm in your graveyard so you're able to summon it. Foolish Burial, really good as well, same purpose, to sending the Dark Worm. Sometimes you get to send like another card so you're able to like continue your plays, but very rarely comes up. We have Double Wings of Light. I would be playing 3, but this card I don't feel like it's super worth playing at 3 because it would just go over 40. I'd rather just not go over 40 in this case. Next up we have Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. This is the way you make Sarg. And the way you make it is by using the materials of the Pendulum Dragon, the XYZ Dragon, the Synchro Dragon, and the Fusion Dragon. It's gonna get confusing, but realistically, you can just make this with any 4 dragons that are a, you know, Pendulum, a Synchro, a Fusion, and an XYZ. The thing is that by the effect of Souls of the Supreme Celestial King, it has to be the one with the names to be able to make the effect activate. If not, it's just going to be summoned negated. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're banishing those as materials instead of the ones that do not have, you know, Synchro Dragon, XYZ Dragon, or Pendulum Dragon, or Fusion Dragon in their name. And now, let's get into the staples. So we're playing triple Fuelos. Fuelos is just a really good card. It's just more ways to get into Max C than Max C. We're playing 2 because you can only play 2. Yeah, this Max C. I cannot. What else? You're gonna draw a bunch of cards. Ash Blossom is the way to stop Max C. Yep, that's what we're doing. God, I hate this minigame. And Nibiru, because we're going to potentially just draw a Nibiru, or if our opponent has a Nibiru, whenever we're doing a weak board, you get to Cross Out Designator them, which is nice. Usually you're using the Cross Out Designator for Max C, but that is a scenario where you can use it. Triple Texas Talents to be able to just, if our opponent just negates our cards and we don't have any more follow-up, we can either draw 2 cards or look at their hand and then remove 1 card from hand. Or when we're breaking the board, we get to, when they activate a monster effect, we get to rob one of their monsters, which is awesome. So, you know, great card. I usually like playing 1 because I have a very weird luck when it comes to these things. You can play more copies, but I don't see it unless it's at 1. I don't know what it's about the Master RNG, but it just hates me. A double card by the grave, usually to just negate hand traps, and a hand trap being impermanence that cannot be called by the grave. And now we're going to the extra deck. So first off, we have IP Masquerena. If you're playing IP Masquerena, you should be playing Espional Knight. They're girlfriends, it makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. But yeah, you just link summon during your opponent's turn using IP Masquerena, making Espional Knight, and then banish 1 card, and then potentially banish another one when your opponent activates a card effect. Next up, we have Electromite. If you're a Pendulum player, you should know that on link summon, you get to send a Pendulum monster from deck to extra deck, and then you get to destroy a scale or destroy a card on field, and then add a Pendulum monster from the extra deck to your hand. Usually you're going to be adding the Astrograph Sorcerer to be able to summon it right after, because Astrograph's effects triggers right away, which is awesome. And also a nice plus, when a scale is destroyed, you get to draw 1 card. Very good. This is not a once per turn, though. You're only summoning this once in this deck specifically because you do not have space to have another way to summon it. You can't play the Starring Venom, the copy one, or you cannot play the Sprite Elf because there's just no space for it, which is kind of a shame. This extra deck is very tight. Next up, we have Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is a really good card. Pay 1200, add a Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. In this case, it really is just either fill out a scale or get a card that you may want to summon. That's pretty much what it is. There's not one monster you search with this all the time. Exceed the Pendulum, really good to climb up into the Appaloosa or access code, which is just negates, or access code, which is a way to OTK, which is awesome. Baguska, it is a toolbox card. Realistically, you're summoning it to pretty much deal with a board that is mainly focused on non-link monsters that have interruptions or no back row. Usually you're summoning it against branded. It'll come up whenever you play with the deck. Then we have Absolute Dragon. Absolute Dragon is really good. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to summon a Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck, and you're summoning the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon usually. So, well, by usually I mean all the time. And yeah, for another card that we're playing, not for the purpose of Sark, we have Warlord Savage. Warlord Savage is just a really good card. It is a negate, and it gains a lot of attack. That's it. I have nothing to say about this one. And now let's get into the combo. So now we will be going from weakest combo to strongest combo. So right now, this is going to be the weakest 2-card combo this deck has. We have 2 Astrographs. Here we go. So first, you're going to skill an Astrograph, then use Astrograph effect, destroying it, summoning the Stargazer, then activating Astrograph effect, adding yourself the other Astrograph, then summoning the Beyond the Pendulum. You're going to have to add a Lightworm here, mainly since the fact that you don't have much of an option here. This is a very sensitive hand, because if your opponent negates the Beyond the Pendulum, you're kind of cooked. It's not great. So yeah, you add the Lightworm here. Then you're going to scale the Astrograph and the Lightworm to Pendulum Summon out 2 Astrograph Sorcerers, and now you're going to link them off into a Electromite. Then use Electromite effect to send Skullcombat Joker. Then you'll use Electromite effect, destroying the Astrograph, adding yourself the Skullcombat because you have not used your normal summon yet, and you'll get a +1 draw off of the Electromite, which is nice. Here it is, you get a Nibiru off of that. Then normal summon Skullcombat Joker, adding yourself a Gate Magician, then use Gate Magician effect, then place a Gate 0, then summoning the Exceed the Pendulum using the Skullcombat and the Beyond the Pendulum. Then you're going to be adding back the Gate Magician. Then you will be summoning the Gate Magician using the effect of Exceed the Pendulum, adding yourself a Soul of the Supreme Celestial King, and you're going to be setting the Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. In this case, you have other cards, so you'll be setting them as well. But this is pretty much your end board. You have 2 negates here and 1 board wipe using the Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. So here, if our opponent does something, we get to activate the effect, attribute the Gate Magician, and then go for Sark, and oof, there goes the board. Next up, we have another 2-card combo. We have Gate Magician plus Astrograph Sorcerer. So let's see how this works out. First, you're going to be scaling the Gate Magician. Then you're going to be using Gate Magician effect. Then you will be summoning the Astrograph Sorcerer off of this effect, adding yourself another Gate Magician, using Gate Magician effect, sending the Clear Wing Synchro Dragon to be able to summon itself. When it's summoned, you get to add the Lightworm. Then you're going to summon Electromite, send Skullcombat Joker because you have not used your normal summon yet. Then you will be destroying the Lightworm, adding yourself a Gate Magician. Then you'll Gate Magician effect, summoning itself, using the Gate Magician effect to be able to add the Lightworm. Then you're going to link them off into a Exceed the Pendulum. Exceed the Pendulum will add yourself a Skullcombat Joker. Then you're going to have a Gate Magician just chilling there in your hand. Then you link it off into a Appaloosa, which is awesome, very good. And so you pretty much play around the Nibiru before the Pendulum Summon. Then you Pendulum Summon for 3, summoning the Lightworm plus 2 level 7s here, being the Gate Magician and the Astrograph, adding yourself back another Gate Magician, so you pretty much have good follow-up right away. And you make the Absolute Dragon, then you link them off into the IP Masquerena using the Absolute effect, summoning the Vortex Dragon. Then you set the cards you have in your hand. And yeah, that's it for that 2-card combo. Pretty much you have a Interruption, a Negate, and 2 more Negates. So 2 Monster Negates and 1 Omni Negate for any Power Trap card or Monster effects, which is awesome. And honestly, you could just do way more with more cards in hand. So I'm pretty much giving the idea with like less cards, because since this deck has hand traps, you might sometimes just not see those cards in those 2-card combos. So All right, well, you won't see more cards, so potentially a 2-card combo hand makes sense. So here we have an Astrograph Sorcerer and a Dark Worm. So let's just do it. Also, this could be done without a normal summon if you open Dragon Shrine, but I'm just showing off if you need to do the normal summon. So here we go. We have Dark Worm. Use Dark Worm effect, adding yourself a Gate Magician. Then you're gonna Gate Magician effect, destroy itself, activate the effect of Astrograph Sorcerer, adding yourself another Gate Magician. Then you're going to use Electronic Effect, sending the Light Worm. Then you're going to be summoning the Gate Magician, using Gate Magician effect, adding yourself a Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. Then you will activate Electromagnetic Effect, targeting the Gate Magician on field as a monster to add yourself a Astrograph Sorcerer from your hand, then triggering the Astrograph Sorcerer and the Light Worm, because if a Pendulum monster is destroyed on the field as a monster, then you get to add the Light Worm back to your hand. So you get a nice third Gate Magician and you get a Light Worm. So here you're going to then make the Exceed the Pendulum, add yourself back into the Gate Magician, then you're gonna summon the Gate Magician, use those two to make the Appaloosa. Then you are free from Nibiru unless your opponent has the legendary Nibiru plus Imperm. If they have it, they have it. So now you're going to Pendulum Sun 4 here, and then, you know, do the same thing as last time. Make the Absolute, then link it off into IP Mask Arena, making the Vortex Dragon, and you're chilling there with a Gate Magician with the Trap, plus the IP Mask Arena, plus 2 negates, plus a negate. So yeah, you're just kind of chilling there. You just make the board wipe. You board wipe your opponent's board, and then also you get a free banish off of the IP Mask Arena, summoning the SP Luna. You could just use the Sark right away if you want. Yeah, really good. Oh my god. So yeah, this is the best that this deck can do. Honestly, this is a way better way to do it compared to how it was before with pure Supreme King. So I'm very happy that this deck technically got some support off of the like Astrograph now being at 3. But yeah, I do feel like for the other decks it's not really necessary. So if you're going to play it, play like this. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe if you like Pendulum. Like the video if you enjoyed. And let's go.